Good day, everyone. I am Jane Razel B. Quadra from Group 2, and I will be discussing the functions and rules of intonation. Let us first discuss what intonation is. Intonation is a variation in pitch used to indicate the speaker's attitudes and emotions, to highlight or focus an expression, to signal the elocutionary act performed by a sentence, or to regulate the flow of discourse. Intonation is also the use of changing, rising, and falling vocal pitch to convey grammatical information or personal attitude. Intonation is particularly important in expressing questions in spoken English. Now, let's move on to the functions of intonation. Many writers have attempted to produce a list of distinct functions of intonation. Perhaps the longest was that of W. R. Lee, who proposed 10. J. C. Wells and E. Cooper Cullen both put forward 6 functions. Wells' list is given below. The examples are not his. The first function is the attitudinal function, for expressing emotions and attitudes. For example, a fall from a high pitch on the more syllable of good morning suggests more excitement than a fall from a low pitch. The second one is the grammatical function. It is used to identify grammatical structure. For example, it is claimed that in English, a falling pitch movement is associated with statements, but a rising pitch turns a statement into a yes no question, as in, he's going home. This use of intonation is more typical of American English than of British. So, as we can see from our example, his going home is supposed to be a statement. But when we use the rising pitch, it will turn into a yes no question, as in, he's going home. The third one is the focusing function. It is used to show what information in the utterance is new and what is already known. For example, in English, I saw a man in the garden answers, whom did you see? Or what happened? While I saw a man in the garden answers, did you hear a man in the garden? The next one is the discourse function. It is used to show how clauses and sentences go together in spoken discourse. For example, subordinate clauses often have lower pitch, faster tempo, and narrower pitch range than their main clause. As in the case of the material in parentheses in the red planet, as it's known, is forth from the sun. The fifth one is the psychological function. It is used to organize speech into units that are easy to perceive, memorize, and perform. In our example, the utterance you can have it in red, blue, green, yellow, or black is more difficult to understand and remember than the same utterance divided into tone units, as in, you can have it in red, blue, green, yellow, or black. The sixth and the last one in our list of the functions of intonation is the indexical function. It is used to act as a marker of personal or social identity. Example, group membership can be indicated by the use of intonation patterns adopted specifically by that group, such as street vendors or preachers. The so-called high-rising terminal, where a statement ends with a high-rising pitch movement, is said to be atypical of younger speakers of English and possibly to be more widely found among young female speakers. Now let us move on to the basic rules of intonation. Intonation in a language can be compared with a tune in music. It can go up or downwards. In English, the sentence intonation often indicates the mood of the speaker. Different tunes on the same word or phrase can send different messages about the speaker's feelings. Our first rule is all statements have a falling tone at the end. Example, I went to Venice, which has a falling tone, and Alice is a good friend of mine, which also has a falling tone. The second rule is WH questions who, what, why, when, where, and how also have a falling tone at the end. Example, how did you spend your vacation? Which has a falling tone. And where are you going? Also has a falling tone. The third rule is the yes no questions. Question which you can answer with a yes or a no usually have a rising tone. For example, was it expensive? So it has a rising tone and it is answerable with a yes or a no. And are you okay? Which also has a rising tone and answerable with a yes or a no. The fourth and the last rule is in English, important words in a sentence, usually nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, are stressed. The unimportant words, usually words like the, and, it, and is, are not stressed. Normally, the last important word in the sentence has the most stress. For example, number one, that's the person who robbed the bank. It has a falling tone. Number two, do you mean the man with the black pants? It has a rising tone. And number three, no, the woman with the plastic bag. Both of words which are underlined have falling tone. Now, what do you think is the importance of intonation? Intonation is very important in communication as it gives information beyond just the basic meaning of the words. It can express the speaker's attitude or feeling about something, as well as giving grammatical information, such as distinguishing between a statement and a question. Thank you so much for listening. Again, I am Jane Russell B. Quadra from Group 2, and I hope you learned something from our today's discussion. Again, good day, everyone.